Savagery Part 2. There was no discipline in the settlement. There was a chief, but he had become so by dint of his dominating personality or not dishonest qualification in times such as these. He had little control over his people. Parents had little control over their children. Society had no control over the village. There were few old people. Disease, thirst, hunger took off those who could no longer take care of themselves, for no one else took care of them. But there was one old man in the village, and he remembered better times. A beggar came upon him quite by accident. The scavenger children were playing as they did all day in the dusty, dirty, broken down city. They were screaming and laughing and jumping about, and one of them tripped over what he had thought, if he had thought at all, was a pile of rags. The pile of rags reared up and shouted. The children screamed and ran. A beggar didn't run. You see, the plate of rags had a long white beard, shaggy hair that stood out all over the place, and skinny legs with skinny knees that looked for some reason interesting. So a beggar stood to watch. A beggar stood still to watch. He was transfixed by two piercing black eyes. The old man, for it was a man, bent forward to take a good look. What he saw was a dirty little boy with straggly hair and a snub nose looking. The old man grunted. He raised his arm as if to hit a beggar, then seemed to think better of it and lowered his arm. A beggar didn't flinch. Somehow he seemed to feel that this old man wouldn't hurt him. And besides, he was so old that a beggar felt he could quite hold his own fight if it came to a fight. So he grinned cheekily at the old man and asked, "Why do you sleep out in the open, old man?" The man wasn't pleased. "Old man," he said in displeasure, "did nobody teach you manners? You don't speak to your elders like that." A beggar was confused. He honestly didn't know what he had done wrong. He thought he had just asked a simple question. Seeming to realize this, the old man relaxed. "Go away," he said, and turned away. He wiped the place and he had been sitting and sat down again, closing his eyes. A beggar just stood there. The old man peeked and saw him. "Are you still there? Go." A beggar still looked at him. "Go." A beggar went, but his curiosity about the old man stayed. As the days went by, he would often think about him, and then one day he went back where he had found him. He was lying where he had lain before, fast asleep. A beggar took the opportunity to examine his face properly. It was deeply lined and dirty, with streaks where tears had run. Suddenly his eyes opened, startled. He yelled and jumped up. A beggar screamed and jumped back. He fell to the ground, and the old man towered above him, scowling mightily. "What do you want now?" he shouted. "Can't you leave me in peace?" A beggar pulled up. "I just wanted to see you," he cried. "Why?" I just want I wanted to ask, what should I call you? A beggar grasped.